Okay. Oh, oh. Here we go. Stretch. Got this where it needs to be, that where it needs to be, this up. And here we go. Hello. Good morning, and we are going through part two or door two, I guess, of the house in Fata Morgana. It is first door was a little rough. There was uh, a little like, but it wasn't as rough as I thought it was, or I would have thought. Because let's be real, I legit thought that she scalped the sister in order to steal her hair. Because otherwise, she is a fantastic wig maker, and her talents are lost there. So in the first chapter, we had two siblings who were very close that grew up in this house. They had a long lost sibling that they didn't know about because the mom had an affair. The mom had let this girl who had returned 16 years later after being thrown out because of her infidelity in as a servant. Their eldest son fell in love with him when their youngest daughter had fallen in love with the brother. So it was a giant three-way pile of incest, and that was a lot. And I thought it was going to be darker than it was because of the appropriate trigger warnings, which I'm going to put up now, which is the little taggy bit here of content warning, Fata Morgana. Bam. So, yeah, this is interesting, and I love a good visual novel, so I'm here for this. Let's see where door two takes us. The mansion sat in ruins in that era. Not a soul resided within. The grandeur of the house was lost to the ages. It was in perpetual decline. Not a flower grew in the garden. Dust and dirt blackened the plaster. Cobwebs blanketed the corridors. Ivy shrouded the outer wall. It was not a pleasant sight. As hard as I tried to fight it, I could not stop the mansion's descent into disrepair. The depth of the previous owner's grief, or perhaps despair, was far too much. Don't go Danganronpa on me. I see you there. After the beautiful flaxen-haired family, people stayed away from the mansion. They had no heirs, so their bloodlines simply vanished into the depths of history. It had been about 50 years since the house had last had a resident. The forlorn property appeared as though it had been abandoned for centuries, and the occasional villager who stumbled upon it did not remain there for more than a day. My time there was solitary. That perhaps the loneliest time of my life. Everyone who visited the mansion feared it, and it was left without anyone to become its master. Even I came to believe that in my time serving as a maid would come to an end in this era. However, one day I noticed something out of the ordinary. As a servant of the house, I am almost immediately aware of any new presence within its walls. And there appeared to be someone downstairs. Can you imagine just how delighted I was? Though part of me was anxious about what kind of person I might find, the possibility that it could be you had my heart aflutter. So resisting the urge to rush, I headed for the basement. The cellar there was The cellar was where red wine, smoked meat, and other preserved food were kept. By that point, the wine was practically antique. As I had expected, a man had made his way into the cellar. Is anyone there? Although I'm unsure if referring to him as a man is entirely accurate. Oh my, this is quite something. Oh, it is actually. Huh, look at that guy. The very first thing I sensed was an almost unbearable stench. The odor emanated from the man, heightened by the food he had carelessly rummaged through. Blood-red liquid spilled from wine barrels, soaking the floor. His sunken eyes had a piercing wolf-like glimmer in them. His teeth were sharp and yellow. Visibly, as he ripped into a chunk of meat, he grumbled in a seemingly inhuman tone. I was looking at a beast, or perhaps a half-beast. There was another source of odor in the room, though. It had some kind of metallic tinge to it, and when I noticed this, I nearly passed out. The red liquid was not just wine, as I assumed. The beast had, I presume, stolen a weapon from the village, a sword far too nice for him to lay on the floor by his side. I could hardly imagine how many people's lives had been taken with that blade. It was visibly wet with blood, even in the darkness of the cellar, but at the same time it had an imposing gleam. The fine luscious aroma of wine could not mask the stench of blood and the beast. Holding my breath for a few moments, I began to ponder. And sound. Sorry about that. Ponder what? Oh, master. You know. Tell me you were summoned here by the mansion. Did you come here knowing what kind of place it is? Hmm. If you are in want of money, you are welcome to help yourself to some of the furniture. And I imagine the villagers would be willing to welcome you if you dress yourself up a bit more like a person. Then you can trade the furniture for food and make your way to a larger town. The wolf was able to fool the innocent girl simply by putting on clothing, after all. Oh dear, I was afraid you wouldn't understand me. What am I to do? I was in quite the predicament. Nevertheless, it meant a great deal to me then that I had found someone who did not fear the mansion, be they human or beast. So I decided to give him my assistance while doing my best not to agitate him. Say, could you perchance be my new master? I hope I'm this wild creature. It'd be great. The mansion sat near the ocean. To say it was perched on top of a cliff might make it sound rather intimidating. But you see the beautifully clear but you could see the beautifully clear sea through the window, a glittering expanse of emerald and turquoise. If the mansion had been in proper condition, it would have been breathtaking against that backdrop. I even wanted to plant orange trees in the garden. Though it was a tumultuous area, the sun still shone bright upon the land, which only served to emphasize the house's unsightliness. Oh yes, perhaps I should give you some more background information. At that period of time, a war had just drawn to a close. The once gorgeous wetlands were infested with crows picking at decaying remains. Bodies of soldiers fallen in battle continually washed up upon the shores of the coastal villages. The people wanted nothing more for the curtain to draw on that deeply political contest. And when it finally did, the kingdom, with its richly fertile shores, was stripped of its independence, beginning a new era under a new rule. The people were exhausted, their spirits wasted away, and the splendor of the ocean and sky did nothing to help. In my mind, the beast was emblematic of the times, emaciated and enveloped in the scent of blood. But the war came to an end. Thus the beast did not have to remain a beast, I thought. Did he? And so I endeavored to make the beast more human-like. First, I need to do something about his appearance. I would draw a bath and scrub away the filth and dress him in clothing that was left in the mansion. However, having sat unused for 50 years, a majority of the garments had been devoured by insects and were of little use. So I searched the mansion top to bottom to find anything the beasts could wear, heated up some coals, and set to work ironing what I found. At the time, steam irons had not yet been invented, so we used plates of iron heated with coals. If they weren't going to explain that, I would. They somewhat resembled kettles. I even prepared meals for the beast in order to teach him proper table manners. Although with the mansion in a near uninhabitable state of disarray, there was only so much I could do in the kitchen. The only supplies I had to work with there was what's left in the cellar. And such, I was not able to put to use the cooking skills I had learned in the flaxen-haired family's time. Now, you mustn't eat with your hands. Do you want to get your fingers and face dirty? You eat using a knife and fork. See? Like this. Feel like I'm teaching a young child. Oh my, what are you holding your head for? Oh dear. Perhaps I should be teaching you to speak before table manners. Worry not, we have plenty of time. You needn't act so frightened. Or perhaps you do not want to be understood at all. Would you be so kind as to tell me your name? You are, for now, still a guest. It is still too soon for me to call you master. Or am I mistaken? Your name, that's what people call you. How about I start by telling you mine? I'm called Bestia. Bestia. Your name is Bestia? I see. Then that is what I shall call you, Bestia. My, you seem rather perplexed as to how I was still alive. He had, in fact, attempted to cause me harm, however. I am a servant of the house. The beast called himself Bestia. It is a curious thing. When I learned his name, he seemed to take on a new importance in my mind. He was not a mere beast, but the thing called Bestia. Master, should I ever have the chance to hear your name, I am certain you, too, shall come to be more substantial presence. But you must always remember, Master, that even if you do not remember your name, and even if you do not know, and if you never know mine, you have always held a special place in my heart. Thus began my tranquil days with Bestia. Slowly he began to learn the human tongue, and I was, to be quite honest, rather thrilled. To be certain, I was afraid of the beast. My fear was not so strong as my elation that there was someone else in the mansion, someone whom I could speak, and someone that might become my master. Come now, you must pull the weeds out at the root, or they'll grow back. The maid, this is a task that requires perseverance. You do it like this, see? There you go. Grass. Did you not expect that? What appears to be many plants on the surface is all connected within the soil. Am I dying? A little bit. Doo-doo. Okay. Doo-doo. This is a task that requires a man's strength. Rude. If there were other servants, they could do it, so I apologize for making you tend to the garden, future master. Or perhaps now that you are all dressed up, do you wish to leave the mansion and find someone to fool, as the wolf did the sweet little girl? Have you no interest in remaining as such a disheveled house? Go on. Not want. Leave. Oh my, is that so? Hmm. If you wish to stay, then I will not stop you. On the contrary, I'll gladly attend to you. I am waiting for the person who is to become my master. Forever waiting. Should I be able to watch over you until the day you depart this world, old and wrinkled. Do you not believe me? Hmm. Are you interested in becoming the master of this house? Will be. I have to wonder if you know what you're saying, although it matters little whether you do or not. Oh my, look at that. Now this brings back memories. This is called a rose. Do you know what a rose is? It's a type of flower. Not, no. Do not know. I see. Then allow me to teach you. What you have here is not a real rose. Real roses are wilted and sleeping in the soil. This is called an accessory, something that women wear. Anyone can wear accessories. The beast held out an ornamental white rose in his hands, an object someone sometime meant to give to someone else. Curious, the white rose was just as stunning as the day it had been made, despite being buried in the earth for so many years. I hear roses make wonderful gifts. He stared intently at the decorative rose. He had presumed the beast would either discard it disinterestedly or destroy it. But much to my surprise, Beastia held it gently in his hands, as though it were something precious to him. Are you perchance considering giving it to me? So you are not. Very well. Is there someone else you'd like to give it to? Let Beastia have it. It's theirs. They found it. In that moment, a thought floated through my mind. The thing I had found in a pool of blood in the cellar was a monstrous creature indeed, but perhaps it was not, at his core, what he truly was. So I asked him a question. What is it that you desire, Beastia? This mansion fulfills people's desires. If you yearn for something, want, live, peace. Look at that filthy thing. A beast. It's a beast. It's eating goddamn sand. Are you really that hungry? Beast, you foul creature. Stay the hell back. Get any closer, filthy beast, and I'll kill you. Several days passed by. As Beastia began to act more like a person, the mansion followed suit, slowly becoming more habitable, though not yet back to its former glory. No flowers grew in the garden, but neither were there any weeds infesting it. The dusty corridors, shattered windows, and rust-covered kitchen gradually returned to their proper states. Beastia learned how to change his own clothes and how to draw a bath. No longer did I have to wait on him hand and foot. He could take care of a number of things all by himself. We lacked for food. What we lacked for food he acquired from the forest. Never did he go to purchase supplies from the village. Rather, he captured hares and gathered herbs hidden in the overgrowth. There were days without incident. And though such a life wasn't... such a life may be want for excitement, peace is something you mustn't take for granted. Those who have it cast it aside, find the leisurely flow of time dull. Only those who have never experienced it truly know how precious it is. Beastia appeared to be content. He wore an expression of solitary serenity. Someone? Anyone there? And then one day, a crack formed in the uneventful tranquility. Is anyone in there? Could you part with some food? I don't need much. Some food and water? Just a little. That's all I need. Beastia looked over at me as if seeking my aid. Ironic, no? It was the visitor who was truly in need of aid. I pondered it for a few moments, deciding that I could not simply turn away someone calling upon the mansion. Had Bestia ordered me to not let him in, I would have followed his instructions, but he said nothing. Oh, thank God, someone's here. I was afraid it was deserted. You said you were in need of sustenance. Yes. Doesn't have to be much. Anything to quench this thirst. I got lost. It's been several days. Give me a few minutes. I'll find. Let him in. A firm, deep voice came from behind me. I was quite startled. When had the beast learned to act so much like a human? When had he learned to speak so clearly and to behave so much like a master? Ah! Upon seeing Beastia, a look of terror appeared across the wanderer's face for a moment. To my eyes, Beastia was the very image of the head of a house, but to an outsider, he probably appeared as nothing more than a beast in man's clothing. Prepare him a meal and a bed. I suspect he is quite tired. Thank you very much. But in time, fear drained from the man's face. Bestia sat precariously on the border between man and beast. Though he still had his doubts, the wanderer revised his first impression, deciding Bestia was a human. As the wolf had fooled the girl in the forest, he too had succeeded in playing the role of a man. I thought I was a gonorrhea for a while there. Well, you really came to the rescue. A meal like this one on top of that. You really didn't have to. Though, I guess it's not an appropriate thing to say as I'm eating. What kind of meat is this? Hare. It's damn tender for rabbit. And here I thought it was beef. You're quite the skilled chef. Oh, is she the one who cooked this? Is she your wife? Oh no, I'm merely a servant. A female servant, huh? You don't see that very often. This mansion is just full of surprises. I can hardly believe it. For days. Lost for days. And as soon as I think I'm dead, here it is. Thinking back on it now, it's miraculous. But why are you two living alone, in a house on a cliff? We... Oh, beg your pardon. Asking so many questions without telling you about myself. My apologies, just a little too excited to finally see other people. I'm a merchant, I do international trade. Till a few years back, spice exports pretty much all came from one place. But now that we've established trade routes of our own, my country's fighting tooth and nail to push its exports. And in fact, some have lost a few teeth in the fight already. But that's just how it works. It's a cutthroat world. Do what you must to survive. That's just how it works, the merchant said, a sorrowful look on his face. He was quite clearly putting on a show, though. Confidence in himself and his homeland radiated from the man. I came to this land to do some business. But, much to my chagrin, I somehow ended up lost in the forest. I'd wandered around for much longer and lost the chance to see my beloved again. Your beloved? Yes, sir. I'm constantly out on business, so we only get to see each other a few times a year. But she always waits for my return. I'd like to introduce you if you ever get the chance. She's a pretty girl, not especially striking. Is that so? The merchant was a man of many words, and I for one do not mind a lively supper table. Though I know it's not how Bestia felt. At the very least, I was glad we had invited the wanderer into the mansion. He was, after all, holding proper conversation with someone, and he seemed to be having success concealing his piercing, beast-like gaze. However, oh, right, I stopped by the village before entering the forest. I heard a bone-chilling tale there. As soon as the merchant brought up the subject, a palpable tension spread across the room. They say there's been sightings of a beast. It's a creature unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. Not a wolf or a bear or anything like that. It even attacked the village once, killing several people. Thankfully, the men managed to drive it out. But the creature's still alive. There's nothing in this world scarier than a vicious beast. So you should keep an eye out. Wouldn't want to accidentally let a murderous beast into your home. At the village insistence, I had the smithy forge me a knife. Is that knife, huh? With you now? Well, yeah, I've got it on me. Only good to defend myself with, but it's better than that knife. You brought that knife here to kill me with that knife? What? You're going to stab me again and again with that knife, just like they did last time. That's why you're here, isn't it? What? What are you talking about? What's gotten into you? Stab and stab and stab. Calm down. What are you so worried about? I'm not going to hurt you with this. What? What did you just say? I like to imagine that before the wolf ate the poor girl, he said, "Is this what I always look like?" That beast. What's your problem? What's wrong? Talk like a human. Is me. Stop. Stop. Stay back. Get any closer, I'll stab you to death. You act like you only just realized I'm a beast. That's right. I'm a beast. I killed them. Stay back. And I'll do the same to you. Help! In his hand, Bestia held his sword. Perhaps it had only been hidden under the table, or maybe behind his chair. Regardless, it was as though he expected this to happen. The merchant kicked aside the chair, attempting to flee, but Bestia closed the distance in an instant, knocking him back. He lost his balance and slammed against the wall. He still made to escape, though. The beast stood blocking his path. No! Please stop this! Don't kill me! My beloved's waiting for me back at home! I can't leave her behind! And why should I care? A dreadful scream echoed through the dining room. I reflexively covered my ears. Please help! Someone! Anyone! No one's going to come for you. This mansion's a long way from town. Ah! Help! What, that woman, where'd she... Why isn't she here? She was just... You'll kill me if I don't kill you, so I must show you that I will. Hey, Rach. I must show you that I'm serious. I must kill you, or you won't understand. So, this is a train ride. We've got some very Beauty and the Beast vibes on this chapter. You just won't understand. It sure is. If I don't show you firsthand, you won't understand. I'll make you understand. I'll make your flesh and bones understand. Kill. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I don't do screamy noises. Kill you. Ah, monster. That's right. I am a beast. Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Much laughter. Yeah, really. No thanks. They had been they had been enjoying a peaceful meal around the table just minutes earlier. The kind of wild thing is, I expected more of a game. This has been just story for like pretty much the entire 6 hours it's been. It's like it's great. It's a great story, but there's very little game attached. But I'm excited to see when it does, actually start. So what had triggered this? If I were to guess, the merchant saying the word knife is what caused the beast to snap. A simple small thing set him off. I could not comprehend it. So the story is taking place to the maid who takes care of this house. And you are the current person in the house. The first story was the people who were in the house, I think, in the 1600s. This is the 1700s, uh, having this beast man. And she just happens to, be the maid throughout time, I guess. Bestia, who had wished for peace, was staring down at the ravaged corpse of the merchant, with a look of ecstasy on his face. Master, can you understand how he felt? Even just a little? Did he not yearn for peace, but for slaughter? New character. Alright. Alright, that does it for shopping today. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Snack time! Nothing better than a ham sandwich in the park. Yeah, I love the art. Like, this very, what's the, like, Attack on Titan style, like, characters. All the frills and everything. They're so good. Like, such a good artist, whoever did this. Oh dear, maybe I should lower my voice when I'm talking to myself. It's so nice out, I just can't help myself. Does the weather have anything to do with talking to oneself? Not important. Food, food. If he were here, it would taste even better. I wonder when I get to see him next. Oh no, this is the merchant's wife. Pauline. Pauline. There you are. Oh. Oh dear. What's got you so frazzled, Mum? Oh, Pauline. What is it? Did something happen? What's the matter, Mum? Mum? Pauline. This isn't like you, Mum. It's not like you at all. Tell me, what happened? I told you to stay away from men who trade. Huh? Oh, Pauline, my dear daughter. Why must God be so cruel to such a sweet girl? You're hurting me, Mom. Don't squeeze so tight. What's gotten into you? Listen carefully, Pauline. You must be calm and hear me out. Understood? Your lover, the beloved man you wait for, is dead. The beast's humanity began slipping away from him after that encounter. He had returned to the thing that I found in the cellar. Actually, he prowled the mansion halls looking more barbaric than ever. Despite all the effort I had put into learning, all the effort he had put into learning to act like a human, he now ripped the velvet curtains off the wall, howling shrilly, stomping back and forth through the hallways, ravaging the garden. I watched him intently, though, from a distance. Bastio was not merely a beast, but an out-of-control, bloodthirsty beast. Just a few days ago, he had been tending the garden together, but that was no longer possible. I was quite disappointed. Eventually, Beastia discovered my hiding place. I had not felt regret in a very long time, but I felt a deep regret in that moment. So this is our narrator character here. Just all sorts of fantastic. Love just all the frills and just the style, the art, so good. More. I don't have enough. Not enough. I need more. More. I must satisfy these urges. Are you saying that peace was not enough to sate you? That I must hear when you asked for peace? I was mistaken. Asking for peace won't solve anything. Blood, despair, eyes filled with terror. Oh, there was a little bit of death, so I guess despair is within the realm here. These are the things I need, and I've always known it. You said this mansion fulfills people's desires. Then, give me prey. No more hares, live humans. Why did I ever teach him to speak human language? Before long, the mansion granted his wish. Once a week, a villager or traveling merchant from somewhere would wander into the forest, ending up at the mansion on the cliff. Though something felt suspicious about the man who greeted them at the door. On the surface, he looked like a proper nobleman. So they all eventually chose to trust Beastia. The mansion had an air of loneliness about it, but it was adequate to provide rest for their weary feet. There was food, a bed, and most comfortingly of all, there were other people. The lord of the house treated the lost souls like esteemed guests. He poured them fine wine and had me cook for them. No one suspected the slightest that he was a beast. He put on a reasonably convincing act. Because yes, I had taught him to behave like a master. The visitors all went to bed contented. But as I'm sure you can imagine, master, they would never see the light of day again. The penetratingly bright sunlight, particular to this area. A beast! A beast! You disgusting creature! You hideous monster! Kill him! If that's how you humans want to do things, then I'll play your little game. I'll play it even better than you. I'll kill you. I'll slaughter you. This is very, like, Castlevania vibes. Like, no, please don't. I like how they use other for just, like, a random person, too. It works really well. That's it. Cry for me. Beg for your life. Pray for my mercy. Weep, struggle, suffer, die. No one understands. No one can possibly understand my despair. Whatever did I do? Was it just because I'm a beast? When did I become a beast? Why do beasts have to die? Beasts are savage, and so they must die. I'm a beast, therefore I'm savage. In which case, I'll kill them. I'll show them what makes a beast so terrifying. Society's really bad about this, and I really hate, like, when you pigeonhole someone, you start to believe it yourself, and therein it becomes a cycle. Moonlight crept through the torn velvet curtains, shining down upon the blood-soaked beast. It was a sight that would incite terror in anyone. This also uses really good wordplay, but it ends up being a bit of a tongue twister sometimes. Look at this. No one can stand up to me. Humans have no chance against beasts. More. I need more. Give me more prey. The mansion continued to sate the beast's demented cravings, sending not one but multiple villagers into his claws, into these blood-stained walls which echoed his monstrous howls. Stop, please, I'm begging you, please spare me, oh God. Sorry, I'm not familiar with your God. Beasts have no need of gods. I have a wife, a son back at the village. Please let me return to them. Why don't you bring them back to me? I'll send them to the same place you're going. I'm with child. Please let me go. And you now? In that case, I'll kill the baby first. You damn monster. That's right, I'm a monster. By killing, no one can defy me. I have to show the world that beasts are more frightening, are the most frightening things on this earth. The beast began to change his style, making sick banquets out of his kills. Some days he would tie the guests up in the cellar, playing with them for hours until they finally died. Some days he would drain them of their blood and bathe in it. Some days he spread them out on the table to feast upon. Every week, another atrocious party. He did everything unimaginable. As a faithful servant of this house, I am confident I can do most anything I am asked. Though you can surely imagine my surprise at having to use the cooking skills I learned serving the flaxen-haired family to do that. I can only wonder if it actually tasted any good. Beastie's peculiar sword was always with him for his twisted banquets of self-gratification. However much blood stained it, it never lost its sheen. Though it was it was as though the sword drank of the flesh of humans. Master, can you imagine how wretched I felt? The mansion, once a beautiful sight to behold, reeked of death. And that's not a word I'm familiar with. Acrimony? The stench of the stench of rotting flesh seeped up from the cellar. Even the years it spent forsaken in ruins were preferable to that. Or perhaps I only had myself to blame. It was I who had invited the beast into the mansion. More, not enough. This isn't enough to satisfy me. But Beastia still sought more of his perverse parties. Lost villagers were no longer enough to quell his urges. He was indeed a genuine beast, and in time, this is what he began to wish for. Can't you get me any better prey? Something truly exquisite? The perfect prey to quench this maddening thirst of mine. Do you know what he meant when he asked for the perfect prey, Master? Perhaps a hero, someone courageous enough to stand up to him, with whom he could enjoy a battle to the death? Perhaps a dazzling young nymph to satisfy his other primal urges? Or perhaps what he wanted for was not human at all, but a demon or a phantom. I would soon find out the mansion attempting to grant his wish, bringing yet another guest to the house on the cliff. I would guess a hero. Un- Except for the fact that we saw the merchant's wife. They gave her art, so I have to assume it's going to be her, and we're going to do the whole Beauty and the Beast thing. Right? I mean, like, if you're going to give us art, I'd imagine you're going to use it more than once. If the devil guides us, if God guides us, then perhaps I could accept that this was fate. Then it makes sense that I'm here. Is anyone there? I've lost my way. Would you please be so kind as to spare me a little food? Ah, there. There it is. There comes the poor little offering. They never learn. They just keep coming again and again. The mansion keeps granting my wish. I would be glad to provide you with some food, and you are welcome to stay the night, get some rest. I'll have a room prepared. Then suppose I'll take you up on your generosity. I've been wandering for a very, very long time. What was that, Master? You recognize her? I imagine you would. That white-haired girl, those red eyes, skin the color of freshly fallen snow, and that flawless, beautiful visage. You could not possibly mistake her for anyone else. And no, it's not someone who happens to resemble her. I can understand why you'd be surprised, Master. At first, I could hardly believe my own eyes. The wanderer knocking at the door was the same fair-skinned young woman who had visited the mansion so many years earlier. This was the stepsister from the first story. The white-haired girl must have spent many nights in the forest. Her crystalline skin was covered in red scratches from where she had brushed against many stray branches and tree bark. She even lost her shoes. She was standing there barefoot, looking quite disheartened. But that did not make her any less beautiful. In fact, you could imagine the dense forest canopy parting to allow the sun to shine down upon her. The beast appeared surprised by her angelic beauty. It seemed as though all madness drained from him in that moment. He said nothing, but his eyes told everything. He was entranced by the sight of her ruby-red irises and pure white hair. Pardon? I am a beast. This is what I asked for. Something to quench my thirst. You were allowed to be happy. But as I said, it was only for a moment. So rejoice. Imagine just how gratifying it'll be to see such a beautiful woman writhing in the throes of death. Follow me. I'll have a bath drawn as well. And once the moment had passed, the beast was barely able to contain the wellspring of madness within him. He wanted nothing more than just run his sword through the white-haired girl in that very instant, to torture her and defile her. He tended to her wounds, served her supper, and drew a bath for her. And afterwards, the beast even made to provide her with a dress to wear. Even the outfit she had worn for one night so many years before was there, waiting for someone to put it on again, or her to put it on again. He said she could choose anything she liked, but she, being a modest young woman, said if she needed not for such fine attire. And what a shame that was. I too wished to see her in that dress once more. I need not such fine clothing. You needn't be modest. No, that's not why. Are they not to your liking, then? No, I just... My apologies. You're very, very generous. Foolish girl, smiling, calling me generous. I was simply imagining what a pretty sight it would be. The sight of her flesh blood splattered on it. The sight of her life slipping away in it. I'm glad that after wandering so long, I end up here in this mansion. In a few hours, you'll be feeling the exact opposite. Get all the rest you need. I shall see you again in the morning. Thank you. Bestia made his way out of the girl's bedchamber. His mask came crumbling off only a few steps after. There, that's precisely what I wanted. Just imagining the beautiful creature. This beautiful woman will scream. How she'll beg for her life. Hey, are you there? The mansion's giving me the perfect offering. Hey, is she not here? Is someone there? Yes, I came by to ask if you need anything. I cannot offer you anything extravagant, not like before, but I am here to provide you with anything within my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay a single night is more than enough. Do you work here, in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I have been here for a very, very long time. A very long time? You might think this an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. And I get the feeling I've been in this mansion before. Yes, we've met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and a girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair? I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times, but there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind to answer one question? What might your name be? My name? My name is... I see. So you are... again. Again? You should get some rest. I'll make tea for you in the morning. Also, go on, close your eyes. But Bestia never waited for morning to come. His sword smelled blood hanging from his hip. The beast slowly, ever so slowly, crept towards the room where the white-haired girl slept. The time was soon approaching for the bloodthirsty beast to paint the walls with the young woman's blood, to turn her bedchamber into a gore-splattered altar upon which he would offer her to the devil. However, when he opened the door, the beast could hardly believe his eyes. She was not asleep, but sitting there as if expecting his arrival. Why are you awake? Did you not go to sleep? I heard footsteps, so And what were you planning to do when I got here? Surely you didn't think we'd have a simple midnight chat. I was hoping that was what you wanted. To ask, what was it? What I wanted? Do you even realize what you're saying? Can you not see what's in my hand? You know exactly what I came here to do. Aren't you going to beg, to plead for your life? Aren't you going to ask me not to kill you? If it's necessary. But that is what you want. What I want is something much, much more gratifying than your pleas. I want to hold a banquet. It's not enough. No matter what I do, it's not enough. But you will be enough to satisfy me, to quench this unholy thirst, to completely, wholly fill me to the bursting point. You want to know what I desire. I desire to devour you. Damn, girl, get it. Ah. Beastia shoved the girl back, slamming her into the mattress, and he stabbed his sword straight through the sheet beside her, looking down upon the girl, the moonlight at his back. Clenching her slender throat with one hand, he drew his sword once more, holding the tip but inches from her nose. No matter how much blood he drank, the sword continued to shine gloriously, as though it had come from the forge. It was an awe-inspiring, tear-shedding blade, the sight of which would cause anyone to imagine the misfortune about to befall them. Go on, mock me, ridicule the hideous, barbarous beast standing before you. In the moment you saw me, you thought me unsettling, no? But you averted your eyes, because I had food for you, because I gave you a place to rest. You pretended not to notice the beast. This is retribution. Retribution for you damned humans. So beg for your life like they all do. Cry, plead for mercy. If you say that you are ugly, then I must be equally ugly. What? What came from the girl's mouth was neither a plea nor an insult, nor a scream. Full-grown men had wept before him, yet this slight young woman did not. Despite this terrifying beast being upon her, moments away from extinguishing her life, even I almost shrieked in fright. Beastia couldn't believe neither his eyes nor his ears. Do you not fear me? Can you not see what I'm about to do? What am I to be afraid of? I'm threatening to murder you. To rip your intestines out with these claws and watch you die in agony. I enjoy it more than anything in the world, filling others' hearts with fear. The more lives I take, the more I enjoy it. I am a beast driven by madness. What he expected for the beautiful girl to do before him was to desperately implore him for mercy. He wanted nothing more than to see despair seep into every corner of her red eyes. For he believed that it would be a truly sublime moment, euphoria unlike anything he had experienced before. Beastia prodded her with his singular sword, poking a slit in skin smoother than silk. You see me as pitiful, so you're offering me release from my fate. But she did not do as the beast wished. She looked up at him with sympathy rather than fear. This rattled the beast. He had never once seen anyone respond to him that way. What on earth are you talking about? What is going through your head? Pity? Release? Do you not comprehend the situation? She's a monster fucker. She's here for it. How can you be so calm? Scream, cry, shout, beg for me to spare you. Throw yourself at my feet. Throw yourself at my feet. Otherwise, I'll. I'm a beast. A beast that never tires of killing. To me, you appear to be a person. Yeah. You're lying. You listen to the things I say and you respond with your own words. I was taught how to speak. I. I'm a beast who speaks human language. But you think. You use your mind to come up with responses. You hesitate. If I, I'm human, then why do they disparage me so? Why do they reject me and try to kill me? Because I'm a beast. A repulsive beast. That's why, isn't it? This is what body dysmorphia feels like. I will do nothing to hurt you. We are alike. Oh, alike? Don't be ridiculous. How can you say when we're alike when you're as beautiful as you are? There's nothing beautiful about me. What value does outward appearance have? You. You've suffered much persecution, which is why you tremble in fear. I am not trembling. I am not afraid. I can hear the cries of your heart. What on earth is wrong with you? Why are you not afraid? Why do you not scream in terror? I am afraid, but more than fear, I feel like I know now what my role is. Your role. If you'll have me, then I would like to remain here at the mansion. Are you mad? I will eventually kill you, torture you, put you through hell, make you wish you were never born. That does not change my mind. Please, allow me to stay. I find it very hard to believe that deep down what you want is to hurt people. And I get the feeling that I am meant to be here. That is my role. Beastio is at a loss. He was perhaps afraid of this girl who did not fear him and even attempted to embrace him. She behaved too differently from all the other humans he knew of, who only ever harassed and pushed him away. Why are you so kind to me? To this beast, this murderer. Bestio's sword slipped from his hand, hitting the floor with a metallic whine. When the sound died down, the white girl extended her hands for the beast with the utmost of affability. Her fingers were as white as freshly fallen snow, something this area never saw. They traced his distinctive frame and they ran across his unusually shaped nose. They slid down across his rough, yellowed skin. They drifted around his small eyes. The beast trembled once more, this time not out of a twisted desire from deep within, but from the unimaginable comfort of physical contact. Everybody needs hugs. It's important. Except for those with physical aversion, but you know. Her fingers moved so gently, so pleasantly, wrapping him in their warmth. Are you crying? A single teardrop slid down the arc of her finger. Looking into her clear eyes, Bestia came to a realization. And at the same time, he felt somewhat dismayed. You are without sight. Taken in by the throes of his primal urges, the beast had not noticed, but there was emptiness in the girl's eyes. She appeared to be gazing far into the distance, not focused on the man, being close enough to touch him. Tears had begun running down Bestia's cheeks earlier, when she had called him a person, but it was not until these droplets had slid back on her finger that she had realized she would indeed have no need for extravagant dresses after all. She could not see what she was wearing. That's correct. I am blind. But whoever decided that reality is only which can be seen. I know not what appearance I have. In the darkness, everything is as one. There is no difference between beast and man. If you are a beast, then I too must be a beast. To call the girl a beast would be paramount to eating sugar and insisting it was salt. That's glorious. I love that phrase. Ooh. Do pardon the trite analogy, please. But you know rather well, master, that the white-haired girl was not at all what you would call a beast. Not simply in appearance, but all the way down to her core, there was nothing beastly about her. Her words brought him faint pain, but the beast still felt, on some level, that he wanted to keep her at his side, to see what would happen. The next words were largely impulsive. I am grateful that you cannot see me. Without exception, everyone who had wandered into the mansion had lost their lives before the sun rose next morning. She was the first visitor who had not met this fate. Over time, Bestia's madness gradually subsided and even began to seem rather tame. You would hardly believe it was the same beast who had once reveled in those perverse festivities. He was, I imagine, at a loss for how to behave. I too would be flustered in constant presence of such beauty. But it was not just her appearance. She said she wished to live with him, a beast who had committed countless atrocities. Perplexing indeed. Oh, wow. This just roller coaster. Like, doesn't stop. Oh, jeez. All right. Pretty girl. Just speechless. What's the matter? Do you honestly not fear me? Do I appear to be afraid to you? No, you do not. But you would. If you could see me, you would react the same as everyone else. You would mock me. You would despise me. You would want to kill me. You don't know what I've done because you can't see. I enjoyed it. I basked in their terror. So why? Why do you want to find out? I don't want you to know how many people I've tortured, how many I've slaughtered, how much blood I've imbibed, all the horrible things I've done. Horrible? I'm aware what I've done is wrong, but I relished in it. I wanted for so long to slaughter them. I desperately desired to see their blood, human blood. What is it I crave? Murder or laughter? Oh, I wish they would have used slaughter or laughter, because S laughter. I said that I had no need for peace, yet here I am. Is something the matter? No, some tea. Ah, shall I make some? Are you thirsty? No, I made some tea. It's probably cold by now. I thought you might want some. How sweet. You don't. No, no, I'll take it. What are you laughing for? Because I'm happy. Is it to your liking? It's better. Their life together began quietly, their days without event. They had no extravagant meals, there were no swaths of guests lending to life in mansion halls, but there was also no one screaming in fear for their life. It was the peaceful life Bestia had lost, and he had returned to once more to that quiet realm. What's the matter? You are always so quick to notice my presence. My world is of darkness, so I have a heightened sense of hearing. What is it like? How do you perceive the world? I cannot imagine living in complete darkness. Occasionally, I can see light. Light? Yes, not a radiant light like the sun, but a soft light floating in the darkness. Like candlelight, I suppose. That only perplexes me all the more. I find it difficult to understand what you're describing. Is that so? It's difficult for me as well. I'm not so sure how to explain it. But it's not complete darkness. I can sense your presence for an instant. I can tell how windy it is from the way the windows vibrate. Also, also, as I can feel as though I sense wavering of emotions. The candlelight begins to flicker erratically. From fear, intense sorrow, or other such similar emotions. My emotions? I do not know. It could be yours. It could be mine. This mansion is a very peculiar place. The candlelight is always wavering, and yet it seems somehow stable. It makes me feel as though this is where I belong. I don't think I understand. I am a beast, so I lack the intelligence. But you, I'm going hunting. Is there anything you would like? Whatever you like. Oh, all right then. If you find any fruit, that'd be nice. Fruit. It's sour. You picked it before it was ripe. I didn't know. Is that a bad thing? I don't know anything. I cannot see, but if the fruit is still green, you're not supposed to eat it yet. What color are these? Green. No. Blue? Shall I give you a hand preparing supper? Cannot ask someone who cannot see. You'll hurt yourself. Don't worry. I can tell for the most part where things are by touch and sound. Are you worried? Worried? Worried. Worried. Thought of blood dripping down her finger. Doesn't excite me. What's going on? What on earth has happened to me? If I appear to be in any way of danger of harming myself, please let me know. then you have nothing to worry about. You don't seem any more comfortable in a kitchen than me. She always cooks the... Where did she go? Huh? She always comes when I call. This is such a good, sweet, like, so sweet. I love this. This makes the whole Beauty and the Beast thing to the next level with the whole blindness concept, and it really has the like Phantom of the Opera as well. Like you just like a lot of self perception is important. I hid myself away. Vestia had learned how to go about his daily life without my assistance. The two of them had no need of others in their peaceful world. Oh my, what is the matter, master? I was not lonely at all, no. I was an absolute pleasure simply watching them. I meant that. It was not my role to be at his side, nor was I the one to be at hers. If she could make Bestia into the master of the house, then my presence was unnecessary. I appear when I am needed, and as I appeared to serve the flaxen-haired family, nothing more. If they sought a servant, then I would show myself. Yes, certainly. After some time, they began to sleep in the same bed. Yeah. Oh no. Not for the reason you're imagining, master. You thought no such thing. No, I had all the impure thoughts. They slept in the same bed, but they did not lay together. They did so, it seemed, because they were more comfortable in the same place. The two acted more like family than lovers. But the previous family had a lot of incest, so what's that saying, really? Hey, hello? Are you asleep? No, I'm awake. Is the candlelight wavering? Right now, it's very calm. I see. Say, tell me about your childhood. What? Me? Won't you? My childhood. Yes, I have no such stories to tell. When I was a child, I lost everything. My mother, father, brothers, everyone. So for as long as I can remember, I did not have a father. I lived alone with my mother, but I never felt like that was a bad thing. Was she kind? Yes, very. She was a compassionate woman. But we were poor, and because I cannot see, my mother was the only one who could work. She would be away for long stretches of time, supposedly because she served at a respectable house. I do not know whether or not that was true. Perhaps she was doing much more demanding work. I never asked. I believed not asking was best for her. From time to time, I would receive letters from her. Someone who lived nearby read them to me. The letters were something like this. Life in the mansion is difficult, but everyone treats me so well, and they say I do good work. I'll be back with more money soon, so you be a good girl. Other than that, she expressed concern for my health and safety, as well as repeatedly saying how much she loved me. You have a good mother. I did. Nearly everything I remember my mother saying to me was written in the letters. So much kindness, so much warmth. Why do you not live with her now? How did you end up here in the mansion? Before long, she lost her life at her place of employment, and I was sent the money she had earned. It was, I imagine, enough to survive on. When my mother was alive, she often lamented my blindness. If only you could see, she would say, I would show you just how extraordinary this world is. So I decided I would visit a renowned physician in order to fulfill my mother's dream. A physician in this country. However, upon examining me, he said he could not restore my sight. Dejected as I was, on my way back home, bandits attacked. They robbed me of the money I had brought to pay for the treatment. I lost everything my mother saved for me, the money she gave her life to earn for me. I failed to repay her for anything she did, which cast a dark cloud over my heart. My world has always been wrapped in darkness, but at that moment I was in the deepest abyss. There was not even a speck of light. I was at a complete loss. With nowhere to go, I simply wandered with no destination in mind. And that's when I miraculously arrived at this mansion. It was as if it summoned me here. You were summoned by the mansion, fulfilling my craving. But it didn't end up that way. I wonder if the mansion is disappointed. I see. The mansion knew what you needed and gave it to you. I apologize for not having a brighter tale to tell. I imagine you were hoping to hear joyful childhood memories. Alright, have fun, Reich. Have a good family dinner, do the stuff, enjoy the food. No. Did they hurt you? Pardon? The bandits. They attacked. Were you hurt? You're so compassionate. I am no such thing. I am not compassionate. I was perfectly fine. I took a few scratches, but nothing you need worry about. I see. I believe that I am happy now. I was unable to regain my sight. I haven't the money to return home, but I believe I left in order to come here. Your life right now is happy? I am terrified. I'm volatile. I'm growing accustomed to this woman's comfort. I'm afraid of losing her. A beast should not have these feelings. A murderous beast. Take this. What is it? It makes a good gift, supposedly. I was planning to throw it out when I learned that, but I couldn't. I felt like I was meant to give this to someone. That could only be you. It's a fake white rose. A white rose accessory? Do you not want it? No, I do. It's just for some reason. Never mind. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to do a quick break. It's a great point to med check. Do what you got to do. Take care of your body. Be one moment. Welcome back. All right. Do you not desire more prey? But you were so hungry for blood before. I've had enough. I don't need any more. Although she is blind, no, because she is blind. She cannot see. She does not push me away. She's the only one willing to accept me, to be with me. Such a fickle creature. You obtain peace, cast it aside, and pick it up once more. But you'll never be able to escape it completely. After all, you are enchanted by the pleasure murder brings. You have been for a very long time. This time, this time I'm done. I won't kill anyone anymore. Being with her is far more satisfying than the joy that killing brought me. To be with her is what I truly want. So very self-centered. You certainly are. Hey. It was as though he was viewing a flashback. The sound of knocking echoed through the mansion, as it had the day the merchant came through. The short-lived peace crashing down. What did I just tell you? I do not want any more prey. Stop this! Stop it! Don't bring me any more! I thought you were supposed to fulfill my desires. Why did the door open? Sword in hand, Bestia ran through the mansion halls. He was overcome with fear. He had obtained peace he so dearly wanted, even found someone who did not fear him. He was terrified at the appearance of more prey would come to crumble this entire dream. He spotted prey, murdered them, and conceded to his madness, she might choose to leave him. As much as she claimed that he was not hideous, if she witnessed him doing that, I'll just chase them out. I'll be done with this. My desires changed. However, ah, why? Bestia shuddered in terror at the sight. Stay back. Stay away from me. He broke into a run. Ah. It was not, after all, helpless prey that had entered the mansion. That thing is... The monster's voice seemed to slither along the floor behind him. He felt as though, if he were to turn around, it would be right there on top of him. Why are you chasing me? Bestia shouted with fear in his voice, uncharacteristic of the beast who had so readily slaughtered his prey. But can you blame him? That's... a bestia! In that moment, he had an epiphany. I had assumed he called himself Bestia, unaware of what the word meant. Bestia, other than me. Bestia is not in fact a name. It's a word that means beast. Indeed, a second beast had come into the mansion. Why? Why are you chasing me? Are you here to kill me? Is it because I settled down? Because I wanted to stop being a beast? Is something the matter? The white-haired girl poked her head out of her bedchamber. Bestia was aghast. He frantically attempted to return her to her room. You mustn't leave your room. As if he was doing this, the horrifying creature, no, the beast's voice drew nearer. Do not open the door, not for any reason. I will protect you. That's right. That's right. I don't want this peace destroyed. These tranquil days together with this woman. I'll protect them. I will. Trembling in fear, Bestia gathered his resolve. He pointed his sword, which until then had only been used to torment others, at the second beast. Now he would wield this blade to protect the person he cared about. It was the same beast who had killed and killed and killed to satisfy his own primal desires. I will not let you destroy this. I will protect you from you. From a rational point of view, the things he was saying and feeling were rather idealistic, but Bestia was desperate. He did not want to lose this piece. Before long, the beast, the one chasing him, appeared within the darkness. Ah, say, Master, if his resolve was the only thing necessary to act courageously, would that not mean nearly anyone could become a hero? Bestia had viciously slaughtered so many people before. He had gathered the courage to protect the things he cared for. But now he was shaking. He did not gallantly bring his sword down upon the approaching beast. Instead, he trembled visibly from head to toe. He must have been quite terrified at the beast's appearance. He was afraid to lose something he loved. No, stop. Stay away from me. Stay back. Seeing Bestia so scared, I imagine the beast thought it was a prime opportunity, for it slowly, ever so slowly, ambled towards him. Ah! If I don't kill it, it'll kill me. I have to kill it. I have to kill it in order to kill it. Ah! Kill it! It was in that moment Beast's man ran off the rails of sanity. Kill, kill, kill. He lifted his sword above his head, facing the approaching beast. Ah! Ah! And ferociously, swung it down upon his assailant. Ah! Again and again. Screaming horrifically at the top of his lungs. He continued to swing after swing until the other beast had gone completely still. Before long, copious volumes of fresh blood stained the corridor. At some point, the other beast had stopped moving, sunken into a pool of its own lifeblood. Ah. I did it. I did it. I killed it. I killed the other beast, yeah. Beastia had let his guard down, assuming he had claimed victory of the unmoving beast. I had not imagined either that the beast could still be alive after shedding so much blood. Stay back! The beast reached its hand out toward Beastia. It was determined to drag him down to the underworld, it seems. Slowly sliding along the slippery floor, it dragged himself to him. Even on its last breaths, it continued reaching for Beastia, fixated on him. He kicked the beast's hand up into the air, staggering it, and then he... Burn in hell! Rammed his blade down onto it. Beastia's fear-stricken expression was hardly that of a knight who had just saved the maiden. Nevertheless, he had indeed eradicated the other beast. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. This is as good a time as any. Alright. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Be good to yourself. Have a good day. Be sure to stretch and be kind to yourself. So, until next time, be good. Stay safe. Enjoy your day.